what's great about going to a place like Yosemite is the wonder when you get to a place you didn't expect. So I explained real quick in the post game that we took the Mist Trail, and then Vernon Fall was the first fall you get to there. If you kind of take a little bit of more treacherous bouldering or climbing or whatever you want to call it off the path, you can actually get to see the bottom of the fall. And at the bottom of the fall is this amazing swirling rainbow. And you're like, whoa, I was blown away by it. And I know like some people say, okay, like my friend who was with me was like, okay, calm down, dude, it's a rainbow. But then on the last day, we went to the very top where there's meadows, and it's 20 degrees cooler at the top than it is at the Yosemite Valley, which is already amazing because it's a half an hour drive up and it's 20 degrees cooler. And I get it, that's how it works. But when you feel it, you're like, wow, that's super cool. And then there's this gorgeous lake, and then you go inside the lake and the water is warm. Come on. Yeah, and then all the mountains around you look like every Western movie you've ever seen, but not the cowboys. It's the Native Americans. And seriously, like that's the imagery you get in your head from the movies. And it turns out, of course, that's true. There were 7 Native American tribes that lived around Yosemite, and they literally did smoke signals there because of the mountains. In order to communicate, they would set fires and then do smoke signals. And we read that at the top of another mountain. And I was like, come on, all that is pretty awesome.
How bad would you and I have been at reading and sending smoke signals?
Indecipherable.
Yeah, we're here, we're ready to defend. Huh? You told us to come. No, we were saying happy holidays. Like, what are you talking about? We're wishing you a great weekend. No, we're fine. Yeah, we already slaughtered that other tribe. We're good. Yeah.
You're the boy who cried smoke. So speaking of which, there's like a nice little euphemism at near Tunnel View for people who've been at Yosemite. You'll know what I'm talking about. And awesome interruption there. So they're like, oh yes, and this Yosemite Valley was occupied by Native Americans for thousands of years. And then the Mariposa Battalion came in 1851, and they thought it was the most gorgeous thing they'd ever seen. It was so well maintained, better than any park they'd ever seen back in 1851. And that's where the story ends. And of course, in 1852, they murdered everyone in the valley.
Yeah. They came and they were like, oh my God, they thought it was the most beautiful thing they'd ever seen. They'd be like, well, let's just stay here and get rid of the people who are here, which will make it easier for us to stay. Who's with me? Great, it's unanimous.
Yeah, they said in the description, they were, they had formed a battalion because there was talk of, or rumors of, or something along those lines of Native Americans that had gone on a raiding expedition. I was like, yeah, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but that wasn't really the essence of the story. The essence of the story is, we're gonna go ahead and take this valley.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it because we have, I mean, I don't know whether in this particular case it's true, but in some early cases, we have guns and they don't. And
totally.
Therefore, we will emerge victorious.
Yeah, I pieced all this together from like different signs in different parts of the park. And another sign in the valley, they had this, it's like a hidden away little thing. But I read all those, and they're like, in 1929, this Native American grandmother said, the white man came here and made this valley so ugly. And of course, it's because they didn't know how to maintain it, and they'd killed everyone that did know how to maintain it. And so Native Americans had like very immaculately lit fires every year to clear away the things that they had to clear away. You know me, I don't know any of it, right? But and maintain it apparently beautifully. So sometimes when I see those Hollywood movies, the later ones, not the early ones. The early ones were terrible in depiction of Native Americans. But later, like, oh, the Native Americans knew how to live with the land and they were at peace with it, and they, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, this sounds like a bit much, right? I'm sure a lot of that is true, but we're over romanticizing now. Turns out, no, not over romanticizing. They really did know.
All right, thanks for watching this free clip of Old School. Don't forget to become a TYT member today for the rest of the show and for more exclusive content throughout the network. Join now at tyt.com/join.